What's going on, everyone? This is Jason at SportsBoxBreaks.com coming to you live on 3/24/2026. I'm doing our 2026 Top Series 1 Baseball 9-tin box break number 1. So it's one box. These 9 tins came out of it. Who's got who? Dan B has the Diamondbacks. Chris M has the Braves. Aaron F has the Orioles. Joe W has the Red Sox. We got T with the Cubs and James DT with the White Sox. Lisa T has the Reds. Dan B with the Guardians and the Rockies. John M with the Tigers. Matthew F with his Astros. Joe W has the Royals. James DT has both Los Angeles teams, and Dan B has the Marlins. We got Joe W with the Brewers. Aaron F with the Twins and the Mets. Brian M with the Yankees. Joe W has the Athletics. Aaron F has the Phillies. We got James H with the Pirates. Bill H with his Padres. Aaron F Giants and Mariners. Dan B Cardinals and Rays. Tom K Rangers and Blue Jays, and Joe W has the Nationals. Guys, all cards are going to ship. The holiday parallels are in here. There should be 2 per egg, essentially. So those will be hits, and any other numbered cards are if we're lucky to get autos. Thinking about how to cut these here. There we go. That's how we're going to do it. All right. So take the pack out. And throw the egg away. So I'm going to go right around the seam here. I'll probably open all of them and then see what we get out of this. All right. I think you get one 1991 parallel in it. All right, let's do these 4 first. These eggs are like metal, too. They're not plastic. Or maybe they're a hard plastic. I don't know. They feel metal. They feel metallic. All right, here we go. First, oh, I see something green and shiny. They must be the holidays at the end. It'd be crazy if we pulled like a card like under 10 or under out of one of these. Like I said, it did come from a full case of these. Here is the box they come in. It's just so gigantic I couldn't get it on the table here. All right. Let's take a look at what we got in the first 4. All right, let me get my focus here. I guess right about there. All right, we got Pete Crow Armstrong. There we go. Pete Crow Armstrong to start off. I think everything is at the end, but we'll go through them all. And again, every card's going to ship just like every break we do. This will go to the team on the left unless it's numbered. Or if it's one of those parallels. All right. All base there all the time. All right. We got a Jose Ramirez insert. Dylan Smith upside down there. All right, here we go. We got a silver of Cam Devaney for Pittsburgh, rookie. Rookie silver, Cam Devaney. Pittsburgh is James H. getting that one. Okay. Then, forget now. Let me look at this real quick. I just looked at it beforehand, too. I forget what it's called, but I looked at it right beforehand. I'm like, I'm going to remember it. I don't need to write it down. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 2 base card holiday variations. 1 base card holiday variation polka dot. That's what it is. So there's your polka dot. It's Jonah Tong for the Mets. Aaron F. Our 91 is CJ Kafis. And then our other 2 holiday, Garrett Crochet, Crockett, and Brady House, which I think are both going to Joe W. Yes, they are. Joe and Joe. There you go, Joe. Starting off strong. All right, silver. Brady House. Garrett Crochet, Crockett. All right, and Jonah going in. I keep wanting to say Johan with him. There we go with that one. All right, let's see what we got in egg number 2. All right. We've got the Stars of the MLB card. Shohei. Very nice. Going to James DT. We'll sleeve that one up. Just like we'll sleeve up the next one. We'll give Shohei his due. But look at this one for you, Joe. How about a 91 rookie cup of Roman Anthony? Dude, even in the cheap stuff, you pull some nice stuff. I understand, you have you buy a bunch, but still, it seems like you get clobbered when you're in it. And clobbered in a good way. All right, here we go. We got stuff all turned around here. All right, we got a Sparkle, Speckle of Brenton Doyle. Brenton Doyle for Colorado. Rockies is Dan B. So there you go, Dan. Helping close out this one. Very much appreciate it. All right, a Nick Kurtz silver. Take that all day. Of course it's Joe. Why wouldn't it be Joe? Joe, we're going to follow it up with a Jacob Wilson polka dot cup card. The polka dot cup card of Jacob Wilson. Maybe we have a solid case here. A.K.A. box. All right, and our two regular holiday inserts. Francisco Lindor chocolates for the Mets, which is Aaron F. And Peyton Toole, Red Sox, Joe W. It's like he does his homework, knows where the majority is. I also do a lot of manifesting. Nice. During my yoga sessions in the morning, I pray for big hits. Ooh. It looks like we got like a purple polka dot or something coming in the next one. It's not the same border. It looks like it's silver with purple. This stuff's actually pretty nice. I don't mean for the base. I mean for the price and what you get out of the back. Yeah, there's definitely a different card here. Again, all of these are going to ship. All right, here we go. Well, back on the Red Sox. Alex Bregman. Bregman, Red Sox, Joe W. Yeah, we got something here. I've got Vlad Guerrero Jr., the Green Holiday. And that's the Blue Jays and Tommy K getting that one. Not a bad card for $7 spot. Now check this one out. That's a purple one. Ceddanne Rafaela. Not numbered, but it's the purple Easter egg holiday insert. That's our first of the purple. And, as we know, Joe W. We got a Griffey 91. And we got a Kyle Teal for the White Sox. All right, egg number 4. Things you never thought you would say in a break. Can we get an auto or a relic? Guys, I do have more 2026 on the site. Hobby, and there's Fernando Tatis and Jumbo. There's Yamamoto. All right, here we go. All right, Profiles by Ken Griffey Jr. on Bryce Harper. Whoa, check that out. Our polka dot is Bryce Matthews, and it's a blue polka dot. Blue polka dot going to the Astros and Matt F. I didn't really look to see if there's a difference in the polka dot colors. Followed up with an Aaron Judge for the Yankees. That's Brian M. getting that one. Very nice. Holiday parallel. We have a Colby Thomas. Colby Thomas, rookie. That's Joe W. All right. And that's the first 4 of our eggs. Okay. Eggs falling everywhere. All right, here we go. Back one. All right, they're definitely plastic. They just feel like a... Although they say they're tins. One more. There it is. Okie dokie. Last but not least, here we go. All right, we got Francisco Lindor as the MLB insert. We got Ronald Acuna as the 91 insert. Here we go. All right, Sparkle, Spackle, Speckle. Juan Burgos. Dan B getting that one. Silver. Keibert Ruiz, Washington, Joe W. All right. Nice one here. Jack Caglione for the Royals and Joe W. Polka dot. Followed by a Junior Caminario for Dan B and the Rays. And back-to-back Rays, Carson Williams, rookie. That was a solid box there. we got Keybert. Silver. Sparkle of Juan. And a little Jack action. Very nice. There we go. All right, green coming up. There we go. Okay. So what are we on? 6? Yeah. All right, Tarek Skubal, stars of the game. Will the Thrill, very nice. All right, DeGrom. All right, CJ Kafis for the Guardians. Dan B. Dan B getting all the sparkle, speckle, spackle, sparkles. All right, then we've got a Carlos Cortez. A's crushing it. Joe W. as our polka dot. Tarek Skubal, Detroit. John M. Getting that one, very nice. And then we got a Kyle Karros. Dan B getting that one. Number 7 here. Again, every card is going to ship. All right, Jacob Wilson. Nice Stars of the Game insert. Stars of the MLB, I should say. Juan Soto. All right, we got Cal Riley there. Okay, here we go. We got a Tyler Stevenson. This is a sparkle, but it's a teal sparkle. Going to the Reds. Lisa, getting that one. Lisa T. Tyler Stevenson, teal sparkle. And that is a Tatis insert. Big ticket players. All right, Colorado. Ryan Ritter, rookie. Dan B getting that one. All right, Yamamoto for the Dodgers and James DT. And Guardians, Parker Messick, Dan B. All right, down to 2. Hey, how about that? Sean Burke, top card on each one. Oh, we got the same cut. Jack Leiter's next. Yeah, we got the same cut of cards here. The same stack. See how far it goes. Burke, Leiter, Gilbert, Josh Smith. Alright, we got a Titans of the Game, Pete Crow Armstrong. That's our first Titans of the Game insert. Colson Montgomery. Alright, here we go. Marlins, Kyle Stowers. Dan B and the Marlins getting that polka dot. Royce Lewis, Twins, Aaron F. Royce Lewis, Twins, Aaron F. Then we got an Otto Kemp for the Fighting Phils in Aaron F. Otto Kemp, Fighting Phils. All right, last one. Like I said, same cards at the top. Burke, Leiter, Gilbert. Cut right at the hits. Alright, we got Chandler Simpson, Future Stars, Tampa Bay, Dan B. Gunner, Baltimore, Aaron F. Gunner polka dot. Bryce Matthews, Houston. Matt F. Second Matthews, right? How about Shohei? Congrats there, James DT. A little Shohei action. And then we have Jordan Alvarez and Pete Alonso ends it. All right. I appreciate you guys filling it up. I'll get it shipped out in the next shipping batch. More 2026 baseball on the site right there.